Welcome to my presentation. My name is Vanessa Cruz. Um, the article that I will be presenting on today is called Arizona Man Wins 275,000 Verdict After Dentist Allegedly Pulled all his teeth by mistake. So this news story is about a man named Dwayne Smith who sued popular dental chain Western Dental for extracting all his teeth without his consent. Smith won the case against Western Dental and Dr. Stephen Nguyen in January 2018 after a 3-year long legal battle. Down here is the link. So to continue the summary, for further context, in January of 2015, Smith went in for an emergency appointment at Western Dental due to a severe toothache in his upper right wisdom tooth. During the examination, Dr. Nguyen told Smith he had serious dental issues and would eventually need to replace all his teeth with implants or dentures. Smith only agreed to a long-term dental plan. However, Smith states that he clearly agreed to only having one tooth extracted for that appointment to relieve the pain. Smith was numbed and sedated with nitrous oxide and left the clinic without knowing that all his teeth had been extracted. It wasn't until he was home changing his gauze that he saw that he had no more teeth. Smith said, I go to pulling this gauze out, and then I realize there's nothing there on the bottom and there's nothing there on the top. I just fell to the floor. I didn't believe what I was seeing. Dr. Nguyen testified that Smith actually told him that he did want all his teeth extracted in that same day. Western Dental presented signed consent forms. However, Smith's attorney claimed that the forms were created after the procedure was done. Western Dental employee Bianca Esker, who was a patient care coordinator from 2013 to 2015, actually testified against the clinic. She worked directly with Smith and verified that he indeed made it clear that he did not want all his teeth extracted. He also agreed that it was strange that any patient would agree to have a full mouth extraction on the initial visit and without any detailed planning. Esker also added to her testimony that employees and dentists are paid bonuses and commissions based on how much treatment patients get. Smith was later sent a $7,000 bill, in which Dr. Nguyen earned 20% of that bill. As a result of this case, Smith won $275,000. And now, to discuss some ethical dilemmas that occurred in this case. First of all, the first one that I noticed was the basic ethical principle of autonomy. Autonomy is self determining and the ability to self governing and self directing. Smith clearly stated that he only agreed to having one tooth extracted on the initial visit. He did not agree on all his teeth being extracted. Second, ethical dilemma that I noticed was the failure of informed consent. So, informed consent involves explaining all aspects of treatment and ensuring the patient comprehends what is being explained. In this case, Dr. Nguyen and the employees failed to obtain consent from Smith to extract all his teeth. Most importantly, they failed to let the patient know that he would be getting all the extractions done the same day. Third ethical dilemma was the ethical principle of non maleficence, which means do not harm, the duty to avoid harming the patient. Dr. Nguyen failed to comply with the ethical principle of non maleficence. Instead of caring for his patient's wishes, he went and did the opposite. He chose to go against his patient's request to not have all his teeth extracted the day of the initial appointment. Lastly, um, the fourth ethical dilemma was negligence, when someone acts in a careless manner. Dr. Nguyen was careless when he decided to extract all the patient's teeth, especially without the patient's consent. Now, for my final discussion questions, the first one is, since Dr. Nguyen did not inform the patient that all his teeth would be extracted, Do you think the dental assistant should have informed the patient or it was solely the doctor's responsibility? Number two, in this case, do you think that Dr. Nguyen decided to ignore his patient's request to not have all his teeth extracted because he knew that he would be getting paid a certain percentage from the procedure? And number three, are there any other ethical dilemmas that could have been observed in this case of dental malpractice? And lastly, here is my reference for this article. Thank you everybody for taking the time to view my presentation.